Next on the bench is this late 1940s Enfield bakelite clock. This particular clock was one of the last made that had the Enfield signature without Smith's. A lot of these were Smith's Enfield. This one just has the Enfield marking on it. The case is in really good condition, so is the face and the bezel. Unfortunately, the movement isn't working, and the following photos and videos, probably, I don't know yet, but it might be about 20 minutes, 25 minutes when I've finished, will show you this clock being restored and serviced. Just a view of the movement with the back door open. Can just about make out, not up, put my teeth in. Some of the markings on the back brass plate there. It really is filthy, and you know, things like, ooh, this is wafting around like it looks like it wants to go, but it definitely needs a good service. With the hands removed and the gong in the previous picture, I'll now be able to take the movement out of the case. That's the movement removed from the case. First view of it, it is absolutely filthy. I've got a feeling it's been many years since this clock was running. The following photos and videos will show you me stripping this movement down. Before stripping the movement, I take any tension that there might be in the springs out of them, otherwise the thing could explode on me. Finished stripping the front side. What I'm finding quite interesting, I don't know for sure yet, but this is a 90-year-old movement. Hang on, my hand's shaking. Try again. This is a 90-year-old movement, and up to now I can't see any sign that it's ever been stripped before, which is quite fascinating. So it could be that it's been stood around for 70 years maybe, without being worked on, and just stuck away in a cupboard somewhere. Somebody's tried to heavily oil it at some point, which is not how you get these things going. What I'm going to do now is flip it over and complete the strip from the back plate. The back plate is about to be removed. Like so. Look how dirty that movement is. I've got quite bright lights in here, but I can tell you now that brass is almost black. The following few photos will show you me finishing to strip the movement by taking the wheels out. Right, that's the movement strip. Springs are out, all the wheels are over there. I can tell as I've been taking the wheels out that the plates are quite badly worn. So, and I also cut across myself then. I also don't think it has been worked on before. The movement just is too worn. There's no sign of it being stripped. So I'll have a better idea when I get the springs out of their barrels. The next job is to get the mainsprings out of their barrels. Then the next couple of photographs and videos will show you how I do this. I'll be using this spring winder. Hopefully it'll be all come clear to you. After placing the spring in the spring winder, I've removed the dust cover obviously. I'll wind it tight to get this retainer over it. I can then twist the spring out of the barrel, and I will put the spring, once it's out of the barrel, back in the winder to get the retainer off. A couple of photos to follow of each stage, showing you how it's done. And that's both springs removed from the barrels. Both of them are in very poor condition, and I'm going to replace both of them. What I'm aiming for when servicing any movement is to reduce as much as possible any friction within that movement. I start this process by polishing all the wheel pivots in my lathe. A few videos and photos to follow showing you some of these being done. This little piece here at the end, that's the wheel pivot that I'm concentrating on for polishing. It's the little bit of the wheel arbor that actually sticks through the clock plates. And this is that same pivot after polishing. A few photos to follow showing you some of the others being done. The wheel pivots have been polished in my lathe, all nice and clean now, and hopefully will run smooth in the plates. What I do after that is I offer the wheels back into the plates to check for any wear in the clock plates, and unfortunately these are quite worn. This one here requires 5 repairs, and the front plate requires 2. A couple of the holes are really oval, really quite badly worn. The next few videos and photographs will show you how I go about fixing this. To fix the worn hole, I first open up that hole by hand using a cutting broach. You'll see why in a minute. I've opened the hole up to suit this new brass bush. Can you see it there in the centre? That I am now about to press home. That's the bush pressed in. What I'll do now is I'll open that up and polish it out to suit the wheel pivot that locates there. Like so. Can't see the bush very well there, but that's the wheel. It's all been polished out. A few photos to follow showing you some of the others being done. The strip checks and all the repairs have now been done. 2 new springs are ordered, will be here shortly. I'm going to pass this basket through my ultrasonic cleaner just to get rid of the worst grime, and then I'll finish all that off by hand. This plate, because of the 2 hairsprings on it, I'm going to clean that from the get-go by hand along with these couple of bits here. All the cleaning has been done. I finish every last part by hand just to make sure it is all clean. I also do a check on the wheels and that to see if there's anything obvious that I may have missed. These are the two new mainsprings which need to be fitted into the barrels. The following few photos will show you these being put in the barrels and the movement being put back together. Before putting the spring back in its barrel, I first lightly coat them using this special grease here. That's the movement put back together. No hands, just on the test stand. I've fully wound it and I'll leave it running for a week, see how long it takes to stop. Then I'll test it for another week. I'll put the hands on and do a bit of adjustment to the time. But that is the movement completely serviced.
Cool.
Movement's running really well, about 2-3 weeks later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the case up. The case actually isn't in bad nick, a little bit dull in places, but one of the better cases that I've worked on. I'm going to remove the dial and the bezel just to help me clean that after and get to the front of the case easily. The hands as well also need repainting. They're in a bag over there, and the gong is a bit rusty, so I'm going to try and tidy that up. Okay, it's all ready to be put back together now. The hands have been painted, they've come up well. The case is looking good. Next little video will be it hopefully ticking away as a clock. That's the clock completed, ticking away nicely. I'll test it for another 2-3 weeks or so to make sure everything's okay, and then I'll put it up for sale. And the lucky person that gets this will get this video and hear my beautiful voice. Please be thankful I haven't sung.